Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. Today we got our WrestleMania 38, big 3-8 WrestleMania predictions. I am a little bit late on this. We are going to try and bang this out quickly so you guys can catch the prediction show prior to WrestleMania. And then, hopefully everyone can have a really good weekend. Enjoy all the festivities. Hope you caught the Hall of Fame, NXT, all that cool stuff. ROH had a show last night. So yeah, usually I like to do my predictions on the, Wednesday, Thursday prior. It's just been very busy lately. There's a lot going on and things like that. So yeah, if you are new to the channel, follow us on Twitter. Let's get right into this because there is 14 matches to get through. Possibly 15. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was on SmackDown last night with the Madcap Moss winning the winning the Dre. And I believe Ricochet did retain the title, IC title. So let me check that out really quickly. Yeah, Ricochet did absolutely retain. So there you go. Little gift from the Twitterverse. So yeah, I got 1 out of 2. Look, WrestleMania is a completely different animal than what it was 5, 10, even just 2 or 3 years ago. People complained, and they had all the rights to. The overblown 8-hour spectacular shows. It was just way too much. And, excuse me, I got a sneezer or something. So this is the result of, splitting the cards up. You're going to have spillover onto Raws and SmackDowns prior to or even right after. And I have no problem with that. I can't imagine sitting through another 8-hour WrestleMania. It's just way too much. Look at the main event of WrestleMania 35. It didn't come off as well as they had planned. So, people are complaining there's no IC title, there's no US title. That stuff should be priority, and that stuff should be on WrestleMania. The Battle Royal, it is what it is with that. Maybe they could move that to a SummerSlam or, some other pay-per-view. But let's get into our predictions. 14 matches scheduled for tonight and tomorrow, possibly 15. So, yeah, it's WrestleMania 38. It's Dallas, Texas, AT&T Stadium. From what I've seen, there's about 58,000 tickets sold. That might just be for night 1. There's probably about the same for Sunday night. So, give or take 60,000 a night. It's a pretty good house. It's going to be nowhere close to what they did in 2016. But, splitting the cards up is just how it's going to be, I really don't see them, selling out a gigantic stadium back-to-back nights. It's just not going to happen. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they stack these cards and which match orders they go in. I'm just going to go through Wikipedia and, give my predictions for the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defending against Bianca Belair. So this has been a story brewing since SummerSlam when Becky returned, won the title in about 30 seconds. Honestly, I feel like Becky could retain here, but I am going to go with Bianca to win in probably similar fashion. I don't see this match going long at all. It's going to be like a Daniel Bryan, Sheamus kind of deal where it's about 18 to 20 seconds and Bianca gets a one-up on Becky. I really thought one of the women's title matches needed a stipulation. I believe WrestleMania Backlash is going to be the next pay-per-view, and I believe Hell in a Cell is after that for whatever reason. Yeah, the pay-per-views are all out of order, so forgive me if I'm thinking of Extreme Rules for some odd reason. Yeah, this would be a good Extreme Rules match, Becky and Bianca. We got a tag team match. Teddy Long. So we got the Mysterios, Ray and Dominic versus The Miz and Logan Paul. Um, this is going to be an odd match. We got three celebrity involvements here, or, two and a half, I guess, with Pat Mcavee. Um, so, on one way, I do want to see The Miz and Logan Paul win, but I just don't see it. Celebrities don't usually need the wins here, especially he's a heel. I'm going with the Mysterios. Father and son, very cool moment to see Rey Mysterio and Dominic in a tag team match at WrestleMania. Next up, man, how far has McIntyre fallen in just a couple of short years? Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. I thought we had enough of these guys a couple of years ago. Once tag team partners. Remember those days. But this one I don't see going long at all. Similar to the next night. Drew McIntyre, Claymore, 1, 2, 3. This is like a very strange WrestleMania. The build has not been there. And, some of the matches are just questionable at best. I mean, I could cut at least 5 matches off of this card and put it into a competitive 4 to 5 hour show. That's how I always wanted WrestleMania. A, you know, 8 to 10 matches, 4 to 5 hours is the maximum length for a pay-per-view. You throw a couple on the pre-show, you have your 4-hour card. Um, you know, Getting everybody on the WrestleMania card is a friendly gesture, but I don't think it's necessary. So McIntyre is my pick. And we have a tag team championship match with Rick Boogs and Nakamura challenging the Usos. I think it's the Usos' time, and that's going to be Rick Boogs and Nakamura winning the tag titles. Big Rick Boogs fan, so I'm going to be watching his matches closely. And he's going to rock the stadium, absolutely. And we got the New Day. Only Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Sadly, Big E is not going to be making any matches anytime soon. Man, it's unfortunate to see Big E out hurt with a broken neck. I believe this was scheduled to be a 6-man, but has turned into just a tag team match. So it's the New Day versus Sheamus and Rich Holland with Pete Dunne in their corner. I'm never calling him Butch. Sorry. But yeah, I do see Sheamus and Holland getting the win here. And then we got Seth Rollins versus TBA. So Rollins' opponent will be named once he's in the ring. I'm pretty sure we all know who it is. Come on. Cody Rhodes, I believe, is scheduled to make his official return to WWE tonight. It's pretty strange. Nobody has spotted him. No, I mean, take what you will from the dirt sheets and every story that's come out over the past month or so, or past couple of months. It's ridiculous. He's going to WWE. He's not going to WWE. He's at home. He's retired. He's this. He's that. He's unconfirmed. He's not going back. It's they make up every story they can, so at some point they can say they were right. I am going with Cody Rhodes to win here. And what a moment. I always, when Legacy was first formed, I always wanted Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and DiBiase. I always looked at those guys like the future of WWE and whatnot. So I was really happy to see Cody was returning. You know, nothing against AEW, but you know what? Plans fell through. Cody Rhodes, for whatever reason, did not resign, and that's a video for another day. Honestly, it's quite unfortunate. You know, he's probably one of their biggest assets they had, and you cannot let a guy like that leave. Honestly, he was the pioneer of AEW. You know, without him, AEW does not exist. It's that simple. You cannot let a guy like that leave. Um, I remember him winning the ROH World title, going to New Japan. Cody Rhodes, out of everyone, you know, besides maybe Omega and, of course, Jericho, I mean, Cody Rhodes was the guy I was following the most. You know, I didn't agree with him going in the Bullet Club and whatnot, but it was a good ride for him. And it was cool to see him do that part of his career. And I'm very happy to see him back. So Cody Rhodes is my pick. He's gonna embarrass Seth Rollins, and I do hope to see Cody Rhodes one day be WWE champion. And at the time, I think it was rumored the women's title was to close WrestleMania. Again, plans change, whatever. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Charlotte Flair defending the championship against Ronda Rousey. And this is one I may change my pick on. But I'm never going to be the biggest fan of Ronda Rousey. I followed her UFC career quite extensively. And I don't know, something really just turned me off from her. Uh, Initially, when she left, she, you know, made tons of comments on the fans and whatever, whether it was kayfabe or not. It's just something I don't agree with. Um, and you know, kind of slotting her into the Rumble, winning the thing. Um, Again, it's questionable booking, and you know, to have her return in the main event of WrestleMania, um, you know, it's just box office. I do think Charlotte Flair needs this win more than Rousey. But on the other hand, I don't see Ronda Rousey losing in, you know, one of her first matches back. So this is really a toss-up. Let me know your thoughts down below as always. You know, if you're following along, join the predictions. So let's move on to night 2. Yeah, Austin. Before we get to night 2, Austin, Austin and Kevin Owens. The Kevin Owens show will close out night 1. And my personal thoughts are it's going to be a match. It might not be a very long one, but Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to have one more match versus Kevin Owens. Now, who wins that match? Does Kevin Owens win? Or does Austin win his, what will possibly be the final match of his career? It's been 19 long fucking years. At one point, I never thought I'd see Stone Cold in another match. And what I think this is going to be like a little impromptu kind of deal where they both come out, they trash talk for a while, and Austin does like the kind of Rock thing where he does like the tearaway gear, and they're like, all right, let's have this match. Vez Prez, mudhole stomps, couple of stunners. Austin is, gone off the air celebrating. So, shout out to Kevin Owens, man. This guy has been unreal. You know, before 2015, I don't think I really heard of him. So he's made quite an impact and turned me into hell of a fan the past, 7 or 8 years. So night 2, kick things off here with another tag team championship match. With the women, we got a fatal 4-way. You pick a name out of a hat. I don't see Zelina and Carmella leaving with the titles. I'm going with Sasha Banks and Naomi. You also have Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Shayna Baszler would be a good second. But I don't know. All these teams just seem random, and nothing really seems to kind of stick. So Sasha Banks and Naomi. I don't think Sasha's ever won at WrestleMania. Then we got Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn in an anything goes kind of street fight. I'm going to go with Johnny Knoxville here. I can already see Sami Zayn pulling out some stunts. Johnny Knoxville putting it all on the line, doing his best Shane McMahon impressions. And we got Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. Again, another really kind of non-wrestler match. This is another one that's kind of a toss-up. While I'd like to see Pat McAfee succeed, I think there's more stock into Austin Theory, and if he loses this match, it's kind of dead in the water for him. This is a retooling for him, kind of a reintroduction. It's going to be a big win for him. So Austin Theory is my pick. Now we have a triple threat tag team match for the Raw tag titles. Got RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy, Otis and Gable. I really don't see Orton and Riddle retaining here, so I am going to go with the Street Profits. And then Edge and Styles. This is going to be a hell of a match. From night 2, I think this one might steal the show. If Lesnar and Reigns can go out there and have a pretty much anything goes match, which I do think they will, Edge and Styles might be probably the best wrestling match of the weekend. Nothing against Cody Rhodes and Rollins. I believe they'll have a hell of a match as well. But Edge and Styles, nothing's going to beat Edge and Styles. I'm just putting that out there. Edge, I've been a fan of his for close to 25 years. So seeing him return a couple of years ago was very cool. And now seeing him in this position, nothing but respect for the man. But my pick is AJ Styles. And we got Bobby Lashley versus Omas. Two big men. Bobby Lashley is a freaky, strong man. Omas is a very, very big, strong man. This one, honestly, it could go either way. I know I said that a lot, but I think this one has to go to Big Bobby. Just because it's his return. You know, it's Omas could win anytime, but I think WrestleMania is for the baby faces to shine. Omas, I don't really see him having any problem doing that. But I'd like to see Omas definitely get a bigger push. Maybe SummerSlam. I don't see him winning any Money in the Banks. Omas does not need a championship. Omas is legit. But Bobby Lashley, I think he's going to be the winner. And then the main event, winner take all, to unify the WWE and Universal Heavyweight Championships. The WWE Champion, Brock Lesnar, versus the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Doesn't get any bigger than this. WrestleMania main event, 60,000. It's been reported again. Believe what you want. They probably won't be unifying the titles. Does this end in a DQ or some other swerve? There's no Money in the Banks active. There's no other way out. There's no way out. There has to be a winner. It doesn't say if it's a no holds barred. It doesn't say anything like this. Paul Heyman, what's his plan? Is he going to be in the corner of his tribal chief? Or is he going to snake his way into another, Brock, Memorial Championship? Got our morning coffee. It's a tough choice to... It's really hard. You don't really want to bet against Roman Reigns. And it's hard to bet against Lesnar. I am going to go with Brock. I think Brock does win here. But I think it's going to be a questionable win. I think Heyman lays out Reigns unintentionally. And Lesnar strikes. Again, this match could go either way. Heyman strikes, but there's no ref. It can go a million ways. I am going with Lesnar. Let me know your thoughts. As always, comment down below some of your top WrestleMania 38 predictions. And as always, we'll talk to you later. Peace!